As you all are aware, today we are going to do a review, final review of the Alavaka Sutta. We have the Sutta over here, and you can see the Sutta too. But first of all, let's get to see the questions some of you asked, and then we will get started from there. The first question that someone has asked was, Bhante, for the Western educated scientific community, how do we discuss about Yakka, other realms, with other friends interested to learn about Buddhism? Some Western Buddhist schools only take the Sila and mindfulness meditation, but exclude talking about rebirth, other planes, etc. Curious how you explain it, especially in Canada. Thanks. When you teach Dharma in the different places in the world, we normally have to understand what could be the good aspect of Dharma for those people. So there is no one particular way that we have to teach. Say, for instance, if we talk about the ghost, hungry ghost, within a Chinese audience like this, you'll be very much interested. Aren't you? Yes, because it's a part of some cultural events. But this might not take interest among the Western crowd. Not to that level, right? Probably their way of spending lifestyle could be different. Also, this could take interest among others too, especially if we talk about Deva in a country like Sri Lanka. People are very much interested. They have lots of stories about how Devas come with some lights, illumination and all that. So in my understanding, here's the thing. Now, most of the Western countries are Christian-based countries, and they don't. There are a lot of churches and different types of Christian groups, including Jehovah's Witness, Mennonite Church. What else? What's the famous church in Salt Lake City? The famous one? Mormons, the Mormons. So these are actually different groups, not common groups like Roman Catholic, Methodist, Baptist, born again, all these. So they, in their own discourse, they are talking about angels, gods, and these, non-human beings. So we cannot say that they don't believe. But they don't think that discussing about these beings are very important when it comes to Buddhism. That is something that we have to understand importantly. So, and the other thing is that the Devas and the gods in Christianity and Buddhism look a little bit different. Now, gods, they are omnipotent, they are omnipresent, they are omniscient, and they are immortal. But in Buddhism, Devas are mortal, they are not omnipotent, they are having specific powers, and they also come back, after they pass away, they come back to different other worlds. They can be reborn in hell as well. There are many Devas who were reborn as Apaya beings after they pass away. Interesting, huh? They are once Devas, and then once they pass away, just like somebody strikes an arrow, they are going to be reborn in the hell. Not because what they have done in the Deva world, something they have done in a previous life. So this kind of difference cannot be seen in the Western polytheism or monotheism, say one god or maybe many gods. So we have a difference. And the other thing is that there is a group, as you know, atheist, right? I think a lot of people who don't like religions, they become atheists. What is being an atheist? Huh? They say there is no God. So as Buddhists, we can't be atheists. Why? We believe the presence of the gods, but we don't believe that they control us. Right? So that's the difference when we look at an atheist, whether as Buddhists can we be atheists? Because atheists don't believe any supernatural presence. But we do believe, but we are not trying to complicate these beings. We don't think that they are always coming and disturbing or maybe doing those things. Alright, so what I can say is that, let's say if I am to give a talk in a Western country, depending on the audience, university, definitely I have to think about what I'm going to talk. And then maybe a church, sometimes they ask us to come and give a talk in a church. And then let's say if it is a different audience, or if I know that there are Westerners, who are the Westerners actually? Are they Caucasians? That's the other problem, right? Now when you go to a city like Vancouver, all look like Chinese, but they were born there, They were born in Vancouver, they are born Canadians, right? Maybe Honkies, but we don't understand them as Caucasian, but they are born in. So I would say Westerners from different ethnic backgrounds. But if you go to Midwest, it's different, right? So it depends on the audience. But if there are certain people who come to us and ask different, very specific questions about yakkas, maybe demons, ghosts, then we can just explain those things to them. Otherwise, I don't think it is important to talk these things. Then they might think you, being a Buddhist, talk about all mythological things. So I will lose the interest among that audience. So I'm not going to talk as such. It depends on the audience. Second thing is, some Western Buddhist schools only take the Sila and mindfulness meditation, but exclude talking about the rebirth and other cosmological things. Hard to say that. There are some Western monks like Ajahn Punyadhammo, who wrote a very interesting book, Buddhist Cosmology, very interesting book. It's a very bulky book, 300 over pages. Very surprising a Western monk can write that kind of a book taken from Pali, commentaries and all that. So there are Sangha members. I don't think that is the normal narrative in Canada or in the US. But Buddhism is very interesting to many Westerners in the form of helping their life, not exploring about non-human beings. So they are more into how they can bring meditation, mindfulness into their life as a secular practice. That's what they like. Say for instance, if you find a Buddhist in the Western countries, they all would like to say they meditate. Right? They all are very happy to share that they meditate. Don't ask me what meditation they do. It can be Burmese and all these different meditations. But they say they meditate. But if you ask this question from an Eastern audience, they might not say that. Some say, some might, it's not mandatory. But meditation, in our understanding, is a part of the practice. So there are certain differences as such, the way how they want to perceive depending on their lifestyle. So if someone is interested about yakkas, non-human beings, then we can explain to them. Otherwise, I don't think we have to start our conversation about Buddhism, about these people to them. They are not even interested about rebirth because they believe that there is no rebirth. Christianity, you understand, is one life and the heaven, right? But there are some others, there are sometimes occasional people who would like to know about how we believe. So at that point we can explain about it. I think depends on the place and depends on the audience. The practice could be a little different. Recently somebody told me they went to an Australian temple, and then they were expecting the Eastern courtesy in a Vihara. I said we came from Malaysia and then we want to see the Vihara. I said, okay, this is the password, type in, and then this is the password. How are you gonna get out? Okay, have a good visit. And then the family was not happy about it. They were expecting a monk will come and then show around, because we are from another country, we're just visiting the country. So sometimes I feel like that is their style. When you go to a country like that, are we losing kindness part in the practice? When we learn a lot of Dhamma books, text, sometimes there are people who are being controlled by the books. We don't have to be controlled by the books, text. At the Buddhist time, there were no books, no text. It's an oral tradition, right? So I think we had to be very careful to balance out, to keep our compassion practice in doing anything, while we respect their own ways. So something that I notice in some places. Okay, any questions about this first one? I think you all can see this question in your WhatsApp. Number 2, if not, in what circumstances will one be reborn in the Yakka realm? Should we aspire to be born in the Yakka realm rather than the human realm, as it is a higher realm than the human realm? Okay, so potential Yakkas may be here. Yes, I think becoming a Yakka is a very not a good idea, to my understanding. I tell you one story. There were 2 Yakkas who were going in the sky. They saw Arahant Sariputta on one full moon day. So the moonlight shows, I think, glitters his bald head. So one Yakka said, there is a monk, I like to, strike his head, And then the other Yakka said, don't do that, he's a powerful monk, right? But he didn't stop not doing it. He went and gave a blow to his head, Arahant Sariputta, right? And then immediately he expired from the Yakka life and was born in the hell because of attacking Arahant Sariputta. Arahant Moggallana was on the way and he saw this. He has a lot of powers. He saw what happened. So he asked, Bhante, are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm okay, but I have a slight migraine here somewhere. Actually, it is said, if the Yakka's blow had given to an elephant passed away, is to pass away at the same time. That's a very severe blow, the Yakka's attack. But because of the Arahant's power, it was a minor, like a slight headache. Then Arahant Sariputta said to Arahant Moggallana, I can't see what you can see. That means Arahant Moggallana can see a lot of things than Arahant Sariputta. I can't even see some petas, but you can see them, because of your power. Very interesting. That means Yakkas are not good people. Most Yakkas. So why are you trying to be hitting that goal, become a Yakka? Because you only find Alavaka became a good Yakka. And he became a Deva after that. Except a couple of Yakkas, all the other Yakkas are not good. And in some Sutta, Atanatiya Sutta, I think we have to go to that Sutta. Atanatiya Sutta. In this Sutta, there are 40 great Yakkas who can help others. Other Yakkas are attacking, but those 40, when we think about them, they come and help us. Ayang Yakko avisati, Ayang Yakko heteti. This Yakka coming and attacking me. This Yakka abusing me. This Yakka is trying to hit me. Can you please help? One of the great 40 Yakkas come here. We'll see. This is the most interesting sutta about how Yakkas showing their, evil nature to others. See. Ayang yakko ganhati, ayang yakko avisati, ayang yakko heteti, ayang yakko viheteti, ayang yakko hinsati, ayang yakko vihinsati, ayang yakko nam. Now, one yakka has come and attacking a monk here, okay? This yakka got me, this yakka entered me, this yakka annoying me, this yakka harassing me, this yakka hurting me, this yakka harming me, this yakka will not let me go. Right? Then what happens? Then the 40 good yakkas are there. We have to ask help from them. Indra, Soma, Varuna, Bharadwaja, Pajapati, Chandana, Kamasetta, Kinnuganda, Nigandu, Panada, Opamanya, Matali, Devasuta, Chittasena. These are good yakkas who, according to the sutta, right? So, if you look at Atanatiya Sutta, Diganikaya 32, it says that yakkas are not good beings. Majority of them are not good beings. Especially they don't like to be good people. They want to be unpleasant. They want to attack others, right? They want to be evil. So I think, they are part of the Deva world. I think that's the question here. They are part of the Deva. Not all the Devas are good Devas, right? Now even in our society there are people who may be richer than you, better than you, but they may be more evil than you, right? They may be more evil than you because of whatever they are going through. So let's take human world and the Deva world in that context. Not all Devas are good Devas. Like Mara is not a good Deva, definitely. So then what about these yakkas? So don't try to become a yakka, because you may then attack other people. Like say, then you have to get people, you have to enter into other people's life, annoy, Okay, number 3. Are there other religious belief in the yakka realm? Yes, yakkas are evil. So definitely they follow yakka's ideology. Right? What is the very simple yakka's ideology? Kill other beings, steal other people's stuff, then sexual misconduct, lying, and then they would like to drink a lot. What are the examples of yakkas who have done that? Now we have seen in many texts, except the Atanatiya Sutta, there are many yakkas who are eating human flesh, especially in the cemeteries. Yakkinis, especially yakkinis, the female yakkas. And there are things happening in some of the suttas. They might be mythological to us at this point, but there are texts that are talking about these yakkas are devouring, eating on corpses, dead bodies at that time. Because at that time, dead bodies were just scattered, on the ground. They were not properly wrapped up. In today's world, dead bodies are cremated and some are buried. So they are into that kind of understanding, right? And like this, you can see here, they are even trying to attack others, right? So what we can say is they have their own belief to disturb other people, right? And then number 4, what is wealth to the yakkas? Regarding their lifestyle, living as they have cities, any food production, commerce. Their wealth is mostly protecting certain places. Now normally we understand when someone passed away with lots of greed about what he or she has, maybe a good person, that person can become a yakka to his own wealth, to her own wealth. There are certain yakkas like that, they protect. But let's say the person has not been a good person, the person can become an animal and protect that property. But if, let's say, that person is a good person, then become a yakka and protect those possessions, right? So then their lifestyle is definitely hurting other people, annoying other people, and they have cities, yes, Atanata, Kusinata, Natapuriyati. You can see those cities over here if you look at it carefully. you can see their cities. And among the Yakka, there are different Yakkas. As you can see here, Santihi Bhante Ulara Yakka Bhagavato Appasanna. There are some high Yakkas. Yakkas, high spirits have confidence in the Buddha. Some don't. Some Yakkas have Saddha about the Buddha, some Yakkas don't. There are some Majjhima Yakka, medium level Yakka. There are some very low Yakka, Nicha Yakka, very low level of Yakkas. Right? So there are different types of Yakkas. See their ideology. They would like to break the Sila, and then you can see the cities that they are living. Something good about the head of the Yakka and then the 4 guardian Deva. Now they are what you call Lokapala Deva, Viruda, Virupakka, Rataratta, Vessavana. So Yakkas are under Vessavana. They are very good Devas actually. It is said that when they see the Buddha, you can see this. Techapi Buddhang Diswana, Buddhang Adicca Bantunan, Durato Namasanti. They bow down to the Buddha from a very far. Very respectful to the Buddha. But they are the head of the Yakka and all these Devas. Other Yakkas, they are troubling. Alright, somewhere in the sutta you can see Ata, Nata, Kusinata, they are cities of the Yakka in the place called what do you call Uttarakuru place. You will learn that here. Any food production, I don't think they eat normal food. They eat all those things as we just discussed, unnecessary things. And more than they are eating, they are making other people annoying. Right? They don't want to eat. They go and annoy other people, you know. They are troubling other people, troublemakers. Sometimes we also have those people, huh? They don't eat. They always annoy other people, you know. Because they are so much hungry and they trouble other people, you know. Problem makers. So Yakkas are like those people. They don't want to eat. But sometimes, as you can see here, they eat certain food. You can see where lovely Uttarakuru is and the beautiful Mount Meru, humans born there. They don't sow the seed. That means they are not doing any cultivation. And then after cooking in a tandoor oven, they enjoy eating the foods. There are times they eat some human food too. There are times. But majority of the Yakkas, they are not very much into eating food because they have to trouble other people. So that's their work. Okay, number 5. Their king Kubera is worshipped with the wish for wealth in certain human communities and is believed to have access to the earth store of precious gems. Do the Yakkas among their own kind have the same value for such materials as human? Now this Vessavana, who has another name called Kubera, is respected as the god of wealth. As I said earlier, these Yakkas are amassing a lot of wealth. Especially they are going to influence people who have lots of wealth. So they want to protect the wealth. Probably that's their own wealth that they had before, or when someone is having lots of wealth, Yakkas want to go there and sort of influence the wealth. So if the head Yakka is the main one for that, then his disciples might be doing the same thing. Yes. So in that case, do we have human Yakkas? Now, if you look at what Yakkas are doing, do we see the same nature among some humans? How do we see that? I think that's a good one. Let's talk about humans, because Yakkas we don't see, so good to talk about humans. Huh? Gangsters. Okay. Scammers. Okay. Scammers. Gangsters, underworld, yes, and then? Okay. Cyberbullies. Pirates. And then? Okay. And then? Now let's talk about something a little interesting, not like these are kind of yakkas too in a human form. But have you seen in your own family circles, there are people who don't like to give things to other people, who want to keep protecting, become very stingy. Actually, he or she also not enjoying the stuff, also not giving to other people. They are the real yakkas. Others are distorted yakkas. They are distorted, the way how they are maintaining their yakka forms. Now, you know, in Buddhism, we have two mental states about not giving things to other people. One is lobha. I think you all know that. Greed. How do we know that we have greed? What is the indication that you know that you have greed? When we? Covetousness. Yeah, I mean, how do we know in our normal life, simple, this your lay life, how do you know someone is greedy? Not willing to give and share. Because when you look at what you have in your life, some stuff we can give, some stuff we cannot give, but we can share. We call it dana sangvibhaga rata. Dana is one, sangvibhaga is the second one. Because depending on our affordability, some stuff we can give, some other stuff we cannot give. Because I also have the only thing. So we can then share with the right person. Not with the wrong person. Don't share with the wrong person. Then you will get all the negativity, the bad stuff. Plus complaints. You might be stuck in other problems in their life. Sometimes you are the one who gave. You are the one who end up with in the troubling perspective after giving. Because you gave to the wrong person. Right? That's something, I'm not talking about dana, the sangika dana. I'm talking about your personal life, personal sharings, your personal life. So, there are two things. How do we know? The one thing is not willing to give, not willing to share. Have you met such people? Most probably. Sometimes when we approach, I think Buddha says in Akusala Sutta, you approach somebody like that, you want to have something, and that person says, if you had come yesterday, I would have given to you, now too late, You call it, the person treats you from the past. Right? And then sometimes when you approach the same person, can I borrow something, The person will say, if you come in a month of time, I will give you that thing. So treat the other person from the future. Buddha says in the Akusala Sutta, we call lip service. The person who gives the lip service, that means, not taking the wrong way, that means just only is a talker. Not a person who is doing in action. So, depending on how people practice dana, they can be greedy. Even there are others who even give dana can become greedy. Buddha talks about 3 dana donors in many suttas. 3 donors. It's good to know. Huh? We can connect to yakkas later on. We end up with the yakkas. Start from the humans. First one is dana dasa. Dana dasa. Maybe I can write interesting stuff. There are 3 donors. The first one is dana dasa. Second one is dana sahayaka. Sahayaka. Third one is dana pati. We can say 3 types of givers. Right? Givers. So dana dasa means, we call it someone, let me explain, someone who wants to give things to other people lower than how she eats. Let's say now you are supposed to give a gift to someone, right? We should not take the moon festival, moon cake festival. Let's take something else. Let's take you are supposed to give a clock to somebody, wristwatch, right? And you can afford, definitely. Let's say you can afford, not you can't afford. At the time that you can afford, you are thinking, the kind of the watch that I'm going to give should be the watch that is lower than what I have. I have a branded watch, and the watch that I want to give should be maybe a brand that is lesser than the brand that I'm having. Because I don't like someone is having, even from my dana, the same thing, or maybe a higher thing that I don't have. In the same way, let's say you want to give a dana. You can afford, not that you cannot afford, that's a different story. Then you are thinking the food that you are giving should be food which are not what I consume, which are lower than what I eat. So dana dasa, the Buddha does not appreciate this person. Still good, because still a giver, compared to someone who doesn't give anything, but not appreciate. A long way to go for this person. But there are problems with this person. Why he's or she's like this? There are problems. Maybe he does not practice mudita, does not like other people enjoy life, always trying to think everything through one's perspective, does not accommodate other people's perspective. That's why he or she is stuck in the practice, dana dasa. And then dana sahayaka means, sahayaka is companion. That means whenever he or she wants to give something to someone, he or she thinks not anything lesser than what I eat, consume, not anything higher than what I eat, consume. Exactly the same thing. If I want to give you something, I give you the same clock I am wearing, the same food that I am eating. I'm not going to take you to any place which I haven't enjoyed. Same thing. Called dana sahayaka. At a time he or she can afford and know for sure that there are better places that someone can, he or she can bring. So although this person is a little better than the first one, still there are things to work on. Dana sahayaka. Then dhanapati. Dhanapati is someone, master of the dana. Pati means master. That means when he or she wants to give a dana, anything, dana for Sangha members or dana gift for others. I think in your life there are certain occasions during the year that you are supposed to give things to others, right? What are those special days? A Chinese New Year, weddings, you are supposed to give ampaus, and then what else? Let's talk about your personal life, not the viharas. Birthdays, and then what else? Farewells to other colleagues in your companies, workplaces, other time. Maybe friends. Yes. Newborn babies, even before baby showers and after this. And what else? Maybe other events where your friends getting married, engaged, I don't know, depending on. So, birthdays, right? So then, and then the religious activities, those dana and all that. So then that person can afford. At that point, he or she thinks, I have to do better. I am eating in a way, but when I want to give better than how I eat, better than how I use that thing, right? That is how the Buddha says, this person is well appreciated because she understood about the dana properly. But not for someone who cannot afford. That's a different story. If you cannot afford, you give the way you can. You what you can, not you what you cannot. Right? I'm talking about someone who can afford, but still get stuck in these two parts. So, Probably they are having the human yakka forms here, you know. These two, first two could have yakka forms because they still want to protect things. That's greed. We call it lobha. The problem is lobha, greed, and there is another problem, another mental state with regard to why people don't give to other people. What is it? In Pali, we call it maccharya. Maccharya. This is a little bit concerned state of mind. Many translation, avarice or stinginess. It's like the proverb sometimes about the dogs, right? They don't eat the straw. Also, no, they don't want to actually give to anybody. So, this is called maccharya. So, we can see people who have maccharya, stinginess. Stinginess is more dangerous than greed. Because when it comes to greed, someone might not give because of his or her nature. But when it comes to stinginess, that person may have created an idea. I don't want to give. I don't like to give. I don't like you enjoy what I give. That's why I'm not giving. That's a little bit concern. Creates more akusala actually. So Buddha says this maccharya comes from hatred. Lobha comes from lobha. Right? So although the mental state is the same in a way, the process is the same, not giving, but maccharya comes from the dosa part. Lobha comes from the lobha part. So it's interesting. So then we can see a lot of such beings sometimes in the human form. So we have to be kind to them, you know, because not trying to pick on them because they have issues in their life, even in their spiritual life. Probably they may have started their practice in different ways. They may have been influenced by others, and things like that might have happened. So from them we can see others, and then when we go to other people like those people who are trying to trouble others, scammers, pirates, right? And then all the groups that we've been talking, right? So they all are representing a sort of yakka's nature, you know, trying to take away people's stuff. So that we can see many other beings in this context. All right. Then the next question is, several years ago, there were some YouTube videos on exorcism rituals which incorporated the chant of Atanatia Sutta, rural forest community in Theravada Buddhist community in Southeast Asia. There was a cautionary note on the use of this chant by lay devotees. Please comment and advise on the inclusion of this sutta in chanting by lay devotees, particularly on their own id est, not in presence of Buddhist monks of Theravada traditions. Okay, there are many episodes, series, stuff they are going. Sometimes some of the people are saying that they are kind of exploiting the fundamentals of Buddhism about these videos. But anyways, anybody can do it. Exorcism rituals. Actually, we don't have anything. You mean like chasing out the spirits. Now, what is the idea of Atanati Sutta? Are we trying to chase out the spirits, yakkas in there? Have you ever seen that the Buddha is trying to chase out yakkas or maybe non-human beings, even hungry ghosts? So definitely those rituals are having certain influence with the Hinduism. In Hinduism, yes, they have it. They are Vedas, they do a lot of rituals for them. They say whenever you have a headache, they say yakka in terms of the headache has come into you. So all the medical conditions were attributed to yakkas. But in Buddhism, we don't do that. We understand the medical condition is a part of having the panchakanta. That's why we are getting sick. Once we finish the Panchakhanda, there are no medical conditions. But definitely there are times yakkas can enter into our body. Normally people getting sick with the stomachache, tummy problem. It is said that yakkas in the Buddhist text sometimes enter the tummy of people. Right? One very interesting sutta is Mara Tajjaniya Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. In this sutta, one yakka entered into the tummy of Arahan Moggallana, the most powerful monk. Very interesting. Let's go and take a look. Mara Tajjaniya. Actually, this is not yakka, it's a Mara. I'm trying to tell you that this can happen. Yeah, this one, the rebuke of Mara. Now here, Mara tried to annoy Moggallana. He not only failed but was subject to a stern sermon warning of dangers of attacking the Buddha's disciples. Now in this sutta, if you can go see, what happened was that you can see, at one time Venerable Maha Moggallana was staying in the land of Buggas at Crocodile Hill. See the translation, Crocodile Hill. I always say, these are literal translations. It's not the Crocodile Hill. Sunsu Maragiri means, when they were building this city, one crocodile made a sound. Then they call this is a Crocodile Hill. But we normally call Sunsu Maragiri. We cannot translate the names of the cities. Just leave it as it is, but they translate. It's like, what do you call, what's the other place that we always talking? Where we see in the Attakanagara Sutta, Kukkutarama. So they want to translate that word. Huh? It's like you translating Kuala Lumpur. Huh? You don't need to translate it. It's a city, right? You don't have to translate that one. Maybe what is Kuala Lumpur? Maybe mud or something. I don't know. I mean, huh? Mud of something. But anyways, so we don't have to. It should be left as not Crocodile Hills. Sunsumaragiri. Now they translate Kukkutarama, the monastery of the chicken feet. Chicken feet. Actually, it's not chicken feet. The persons who built the temple is Kukkuta. It's like Anathapindika. The temple was built by the banker called Kukkuta. Right? We don't have to translate. Anyway, at that time, Moggallana was walking mindfully in the open air. He's skywalking. Now, at the time, Mara, the wicked, had got inside Moggallana's belly. Interesting, huh? Moggallana thought, why now is my belly so very heavy? Right? Like I have just eaten a load of beans. Then he stepped down from the walking path, entered his maybe kuti, sat down and seed spread. That means even Moggallana cannot see he even entered in the body. What about us? Huh? What about us? He also cannot see that he entered already. He only feel tummy is heavy. And investigated inside himself. He saw Mara had got inside his stomach, belly. He said to Mara, come out, wicked one. You come out. Right? Come out. Don't harass the disciples of the Buddha. Don't create harm and suffering for yourself. Then Mara thought, this monk does not really know me or see me when he tells me to come out. At least if you know who I am, then you shouldn't have told me to come out. I'm Mara, right? And then, not even the teacher could recognize me so quickly. How could a disciple? That means Mara thinks Buddha also couldn't recognize him sometimes before he became the Buddha. What about this monk, Arahan Moggallana? He kind of underestimates. Then Moggallana said to Mara, I know you even when you are like this. Don't think. Then what happens? Then there is a conversation going on. Now that means non-human beings can enter into our tummy. That's the place they would like to go, not to the other places. Especially they would like to go to the tummy. So that means, now in this case Mara, but the yakkas cannot enter into our tummy unless you have You don't have a certain Dhamma practice. Yakkas cannot, but Mara can enter into anybody's body. Because Mara is the most powerful person in this whole universe. We all are under him until you become enlightened. That's why he doesn't like. One day there was a monk who was sweeping the compound. Now Mara saw is going to become enlightened, looking at how he swept the compound, right? And then he appeared. He said, "Stop your meditation. You can't do it anymore. I'm Mara. I am telling you, stop it." Okay, I will stop that on one condition. Can you trance into the Buddha? Buddha had passed away a long time ago, 200 years by that time. This is Ashoka's time, Dharma Ashoka's time. That's a simple thing. I've been fighting with him. I know him. I can easily trance into him. Then he trance into the real Shakyamuni Buddha. He can impersonate, actually. No? He impersonated the Buddha. The moment the monk saw the real Buddha, he got enlightened. You think, what a bad thing I did, huh? I made him faster to the enlightenment. I should have done. So he was very mad, very upset about it. He disappeared. Right? So there are things like, he's the most powerful one. So even Sakka also very scared of him. When the Mara was going to fight with him, all the Devas were scared about what's going to happen. But finally, because of the paramita perfections Buddha had as a bodhisattva, he could win it. Anyways, so what I can say here is, we don't have rituals like to chase out the yakkas, but in rural areas of Sri Lanka they have, but they are not Buddhist practices. They are certain cultural practices. Now, in Sri Lanka they say yakkas lived there as a community. In some parts of Sri Lanka, long time ago. Even when the Buddha went to, it is said the Buddha only went to one country, Sri Lanka, 3 times in the history. He went to Mahiyangana, then Nagadeepa and Kalyana. So the first time he went to Sri Lanka was to tame a fight between 2 yakkas. Second, third time he went to help a fight between Nagas, a second, third time. But the first time it was about Yakka. So it is said that Sri Lanka was a place of a lot of Yakkas. Then Sri Lanka. They say Sihala Deepa at that time. So anyways, what we can understand is that the rituals, they are coming from Hinduism mostly, maybe local traditions. In Buddhism, we don't have it. Even in the Atanatiya Sutta here, there is no mention that yakkas must be chased out. Buddha is approaching them in a nice way and teach them. Now, when it comes to the chanting, I must make this mention. Our tradition, especially the so-called people, I don't want to mention their names, they have this idea that as they chant the Atanatiya Sutta, all the yakkas are going to go away. They can not go away, they can chase out the yakka. Sometimes, when some monks are chanting Atanatiya, they try to pronounce certain words in high tone, thinking yakkas will go away. Yakkas are not scared of raising voice. If you can raise voice to your family member, yakkas don't take it. You raise your voice, I don't care you. So yakkas won't go that way. Only when you talk to yakkas with some kindness, some metta, they will listen to you. I think this is common to animals too. Even when you talk to a dog, cat, even to a snake, sometimes cobra, in a kind, nice way, they will feel it. They will feel your metta. But not in a way, hey, get out of this place. Yakkas won't listen to you at that point. You have to talk to them in a nice way. So, Atanatiya Sutta is not a place where you have to practice exorcism. It is a place where you have to understand the nature of the yakkas and kindly ask them not to harass us, not to bully us. Actually, some even human bullies also listen to this idea. When someone bullies, please don't hurt us, please don't disturb us. They can feel it. But if you're going to fight with them, they might get provocated. They won't get de-escalated. So I think they are not Buddhist practices in my understanding. But what has happened is they have come to the temple structures too. Those rural temples, slowly it has come, these rituals have come into temples, because temples have their village community, right? It has come into those places too. But it's not the Atanatiya Sutta's purpose. Number 7. Because of the timing, this human afflicted by possession conquers, with Bhante's mention of yakkas controlling, affecting human minds. Yeah, yakkas can control our mind. Especially when you are not practicing yoniso manasikara, indriya sangvara, wise attention, when you don't do a sort of meditation every day, then you are easily maybe attacked by these non-human beings. If you look at the people who got certain yakkas in their body, they are mostly very spiritually weak people. Yakkas cannot enter into someone's body who has a certain spiritual practice. It is similar, right? Let's say you have a house, your house is not properly barricaded, right? Your house is not properly done, we don't have a wall, it's not protected, it's not done certain surveillance. So then thieves come and take your stuff away. But there is another house which is properly done, especially for security. So it's hard for thieves to come and take things away. Hard. They may try, but hard to come and do it. In the same way, if you have a body, don't think that you are safe just because you are taking care of yourself, your body, your mind. It can be vulnerable to certain spirits. So that's why you want to practice a certain daily meditation. I always say at least 5 minutes meditation enough. Then you are trying to invigorate, energize your strength, your spirituality. Then they can't come into you. They will go away, but they are looking for someone who is weak in the family. Enter into that person's body. And then take revenge from the other all spiritually strong people. So that can happen. It's better to have a certain energizing practice. That is none other than a meditation. But a proper meditation, not looking at the tummy, how tummy goes up and down. That Vipassana Burmese meditation. You are supposed to practice the true Buddha meditation. Satipatthana Sutta's meditation. Samma Sati, Sampajanya. Those original meditations. Not the ones that were found out by these traditions later on. Alright, so try to energize your spiritual energy so yakkas cannot hurt. Is it all non-human spirits called yakka? No. There are many types of non-human beings. Yakka is one group, Naga is one group, then Pisacha is one group. What else? Gandhabba is another group. Then Hungry Ghost, and then Kumbanders. There are many groups. There are some non-human beings who are living in the hollows of the trees, dens of the hollows. Very unpleasant non-human beings sometimes. They are scaring others. So there are a lot of beings as such. So Yakka is one of the powerful ones. Even Asura. Asuras also non-human beings. Why they are interested in human realm? They are interested in human realm because human realm is the perfect place to live according to the spirituality. If you become a deva, a god, it is not easy to practice Dhamma. If you were reborn in a hell, also cannot practice Dhamma. So humans are the people who are having the best opportunity. So yakkas, non-human beings are not happy because why we did not become humans? Why they are humans? It's like somebody got a cancer. Why only me? Why not the other people? Like they are trying to separate out people. But finally they come to the understanding, why not me? We all are part of this issue, right? At different times. So they are not happy why they didn't become humans. So then they are going after certain beings who don't have enough spiritual strength. Do we know which period of the Buddha's life was this sutta delivered? Some other suttas will describe the place and who the sovereign was then. The Buddha delivered this at the Yakka realm through psychic. We can see the place where Buddha talked about this sutta. Atanatiya. Here. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Rajagaha, Vulture's Peak. This must be very early time of the Buddhists, because Buddha stayed in Rajagaha, Veluvana, the first temple, which was made by Bimbisara in his early time. So this is one of the earliest suttas. The Buddha delivered this at the Yakka realm through psychic method. Buddha didn't deliver this sutta. The Yakka's head came and told the Buddha this sutta, and Buddha repeated the sutta to the monks. Let's see what happened. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Rajagaha on the Vulture's Peak mountain. Then late at night, the 4 great kings with large armies of spirit and these goblins and all these lighting up the entire Vulture's Peak with their beauty, went up to the Buddha, sat down to one side. Then seated to one side, the great Vesavana, Yakka's head, told the Buddha, "Sir, there are different Yakkas here. And, sir, there are disciples of you, the Buddha, who frequent remote places in the wilderness forest that are quiet and still, far from the merry crowd, remote from the human places, fit for retreat. There dwell high Yakka who have no trust about the Buddha. To give them confidence, to give those monks confidence, may the Buddha please learn." They ask him Buddha to learn the Atanatiya Sutta. It is Yakka head asking Buddha to learn the Atanatiya. May the Buddha please learn the Atanatiya, protection for the guarding, protection, safety, comfort of the monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika. So Yakkas are helping the Buddha. Bhante, please tell, because some of the colleagues are not good guys. Some of the colleagues, Yakka colleagues, they are not good people. They can trouble you. But we are good people. We tell you to learn it. Then they are saying the formula about the Yakkas. Then you can see the second part here. We go from here. First part is done somewhere here. I think at the end of here. First part, second recitation. What is this part? Then in the following morning, you can see here, then when the night had passed, Buddha told the monks all what had happened, repeating all the verses Yakka spoke. So this was not uttered by the Buddha. Formula was given by the head of the Yakka. He simply gave it to the monks and nuns, and also the lay people and other people, laymen, laywomen. Because Yakkas not even attack monks and nuns. They also attack upasaka, upasika. That's how it happened. So the Buddha did not utter on his own. He got it from the Yakkas. How does the 4 qualities mention truth, restraint, steadfastness? We have to go to Alavaka Sutta again here. Yasseti Jataro Dhamma. Satchang, Dhammo, Diti, Chago. Okay. How does the 4 qualities here help a householder not to grieve after passing away? Besides, what I think grief is it being referred here? Actually, when you do not practice these 4, you are not creating enough good karmas. So you will suffer a lot in the next life. So when you do more good karmas with being truthful, self-restraint, and steadfastness and generosity, you don't have to grieve in the next life. That means not here, when you are reborn in the next life, you will suffer if you haven't done enough. Besides, what grief is it being referred here? Grief of not having done enough good karmas. It's a grief. The grief of the person faced when she passed on the grief, or the grief she living in, it could be the both. Sometimes when you know before you pass away, if you know, I haven't done enough good karmas, that might be a grief for you. Also, when you were reborn in the next life, then you look back what I did. I think some people are doing that even in this life. Why in this life is my life so tough? I am still not hitting my goals. I'm still not having enough money to process my dreams and whims and fancies. Definitely, I may have not given enough dana in my previous life. So you suffer. You grieve on it. Actually, it might be the reason, it might not be the reason. Maybe in this life you have everything, but you are very lazy. You are not thinking out of the box. You are always thinking the conventional money flow. Let the money come through hard working, but that hard working money not come to you because conditions have changed now. Right? It could be the bad karma in the past. It may be the your attitude, your perspective of how to make money within these conditions. Things are changed. Is it possible for a Buddhist, non-Buddhist who practices only truth, restraint and generosity not to have grief during his? Definitely. Yeah, definitely. How do Yakka confound the mind of humans? How do Yakka do it? It is depending on how strong or how weak is your mind. If a person has a good sila and what do you mean by chant? Chant. Itipiso, when he has fear, does it? Yeah, it can help. Right? Even some people chant Itipiso when they are distracted. When they are distracted, they are saying Itipiso Bhagavarahan Samma Sambuddho. That is their survival kit. Survival kit. The worst case scenario is being touched by that. But not necessarily. If you learn more Dhamma, you don't have to do like that. Not to be scared. But Yakkas do for spiritually weak people. It can help. Definitely can help. But you have to find out better ways to handle your fear. Since Yakka is bad and also destroying versus good, therefore why there are followers further, why those non-followers need, I don't know what is this question. Since Yakka is bad and also destroying versus good and bad maybe, therefore why there are followers further, why those non-followers need? You mean whether Yakka has followers or not? Yakkas has followers. Maybe similar people who have similar ideas about not giving to other people, becoming very stingy. They are becoming human Yakkas, so they are pretty same. Did the Buddha face any challenges with the Yakkas? So how did he overcome? He did not really face, but his followers. But fortunately, Yakka had told the Buddha, learn this Atanatya, so your followers will not have problems. Last two questions, I think, couple of questions. What are the differences between Mara and Yao? Mara is the most powerful one. And his fellows, Maras, are more powerful than Yakkas. How can we earn trust in today's fast-paced environment? How to build the trust? How do we learn about the trust over here? See? How to build the trust? It depends. It depends on the condition. It depends on what kind of relationship you are talking about. Right? Now, as we go to the 21st century, this lifestyle, there are more insecurities people are having depending on the lifestyle. So how to minimize the miscommunication? Talk openly, discuss more, engage in a very realistic, honest conversation is the best. But we have a lot of impediments for that. Even you go eat, there are people who are checking the phone non-stop. Somebody is serving, but they are on the phone for the whole time. Now you see the teenagers in the houses, parents have to cook for them and tell them to come down and eat and go. Right? They are not coming out. So the problem is that how to build trust? How does a teenager can create trust? Telling that we have to keep up with the technology, but we have to have a good understanding. We know that everybody has to be busy in their own virtual world, but how to create trust? Understanding how to deal with these people and deal with the gadgets and the technology. So it depends on that situation. So clarity in the communication is very important. So then you can create a lot of trust. And trust in terms of other things are going to be depending on the conditions, on different conditions. So you have to, if you tell me the condition, I will tell you how it may work in that condition. Oh, actually we don't have much choice in terms of gaining trust. One only gain trust after long periods of our consistent actions. Oh, actually there are more efficient ways depending on the conditions. For some, if trust is not established in an efficient manner, they probably would go hungry for set months, couldn't be able to pay bills. If possible, don't wish to achieve this in my afterlife. I would probably rephrase this question if I get time today. But anyways, I can say that depending on the conditions, you can find out how to build trust. So that is how we're going to do it. Don't worry about it. Does the king of Yakka, elected by the Yakka community, or he was born as Yakka king? Oh, Yakkas don't vote, huh? They don't vote. This head Yakka is born as a powerful karma. Don't think that they follow the democracy, There's no democracy. Vicious guys, vicious beings. Autocratic. Will it be time where the post is being vacant due to the king passed away? I think when the head Yakka passed away, there is another Yakka automatically taking over the Yakka position. Because these are actually living many centuries. Yeah, Yakka's time. It is said one day of Chaturmaharajika is equal to 50 human years. So if they spend 2 days hitting the 100 years old, right? Interesting, huh? If they spend then they have a long life. All right, I think we've done all the questions. Then I will take a little bit of time, maybe a few minutes, to go over the sutta one more time, and letting you ask any other question. Okay, Alavaka Sutta, today is the last day. So what we understand is the Buddha went to Alavia city, and then he met Alavaka's consorts, wives, and he started giving Dhamma talk. And at that time, two Yakkas, Hemavata Satagira, they were going in the sky, passing that place, and they informed the Alavaka Yakka, Buddha has come to your place. He was very mad, very disappointed. He went back, and then he said, get out, come back, get out, come back, get out, come back. And then finally Buddha said, I'm not going to go out. If you have anything, you can ask. Then Yakka said, if you cannot answer my questions, I'm going to do certain bad things to you. I'm going to confound your heart. I'm going to drive you nuts, go crazy, make you crazy. If not, in the last, the worst case scenario, I'm going to fling you to the other shores of the universe. Very interesting, huh? Verbal attack, then it's going to be a physical attack. Then the Buddha said, you can't do any of those things. But if you have any questions, I can answer you. Then he had questions. He knows the answers. This guy is pretending he doesn't know. He knows. He knows from his father, Father Yakka. His father Yakka knew these answers from the Kassapa Buddha, previous Buddha. These 28 Buddhas, right? Tannankara, Medankara, right? And Kassapa, then Gautam. So he wants to check whether the Buddha knows. And then Buddha is very finely answering the questions. These questions are very interesting about your lay life. Will you take one stanza just to reflect? First set of questions. Kinsu Devittang Purisasa Settang. What is the greatest wealth in someone's life? The Buddha said, Saddha, trust. Think about, if you don't have insecurities in your household life, in your family, you are such a very happy person. How many people are there having so many insecurities? Going to work, coming back home not happy. Because I think there are a lot of problems in my family. People are not open to me. People are not discussing openly. A lot of insecurities. It has become a place of lot of insecurities. But everybody is hiding all insecurities, saying hi, bye, and then showing the happy face. You think that person is happy? What if there's a household, everybody is trying to be very honest, right, what's happening, and really sharing what they feel about everything, trying to respect each other. That happens through the saddha, trust. That is the highest wealth, not money at that point. You may have lots of money, but this could be the biggest issue in that family. In one of my retreats, there was someone who said to me that we have a very good family life, but my wife makes a mistake. The mistake is that she's transferring money to the wrong account. To a wrong person, actually, lots of money, 10,000. And says sorry initially, but then starts to defend. And not like to cooperate with the problem. I said, you change the way how you talk to her. That's one thing. If not, if she cannot take care of that kind of minor transaction, you can do it by yourself. No, I'm busy too. So you have to plan it. Otherwise, you are keeping that issue on the side. You are happy, but then again, it's coming up and going down. So you are not happy. And then he is going to ask other problems. Bhante, we have a 10 years old age gap. Is that the problem? I said, no. The problem is how to approach this issue. I said, she has done a couple times, transferring to the wrong person, and I had to call the bank and get the money back. So find some healthy ways to solve this issue. So then you are happy, she is happy, everybody is happy. So otherwise you have the insecurity on the side of the plate. You are showing that you are happy, but things are happening, boiling down. Time to time it's coming up, you are not happy, she's not happy, then some arguments happen in the family. So saddha is such important. Then kinsu suchinnang sukama vahati. What kind of practice? When you practice Dhamma very well, as you can see here, then the proper Dhamma practice will give you lots of happiness, not the wrongly followed practice. Kinsuha visadu tarang rasanang. What is the sweetest taste of all? What is it? Satchang. Become a person of truthfulness. Never lie to somebody. Never cheat on somebody. We learn from Karaniya Metta Sutta. Naparu paranni kumbit nati manyet katta chinang kanchi. What is it? Let no one cheat on another person. Let no one insult another person. Being the third person, you are wishing that. You are wishing being the third person. What if you become the first and the second person? That means we have to wish, may these two people always talk to each other with truthfulness, not insulting each other. At the same time, may these two people, the couple or whoever, not cheat on each other. What a beautiful thing. Are there people in this society who are wishing, may other people cheat on each other? Right? There may be. That's why the Buddha said like this. Naparo parannikubbeta nati manyeta kattachina. Then the Buddha said, the greatest wish that we can have. Nanya manyasa dukkha micchya. May no one likes the suffering of another person. But what if when you are very unhappy with somebody? One of the closest friends of you, maybe family members, suddenly become very mean to you, right? Then arguments going back to the source of everything, right? So then we should never ever wish anybody's pain, suffering. Finally, katang jiving jivitamau settandi. How to live the life to the best of it is. Panya jiving, with some amount of wisdom. That is the best way. So these are very interesting questions and answers that are really helpful for us. But the funny thing is that Yakka is the one who is asking on behalf of you. Right? Humans could have asked, but Yakkas are asking on behalf of you. All right, so then we discuss all those questions, answers for a couple of weeks, and at the end, Yakka is very happy. And then Yakka told the Buddha, Bhante, now I would go from one city to other city, one village to other village. I would spread the word across as a respect for you. So they should be Yakka cities, Yakka villages. All right, any questions overall? So we have probably 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, so we can ask any questions that may have arisen.
Bhante, is Yakka have physical body?
Does Yakka have a physical body? Yes, but subtle to see. We cannot see that body. They have a physical body.
And second question, you say people with highly spiritual, the Yakka will not enter the body.
Depends on that spirituality. Normally, if you are a follower of the Buddha, you have a good Sila, Samadhi, Panya practice, Noble Eightfold Path practice, they cannot easily enter.
Yeah, but just now you mentioned the Attananiya Sutta, the Yakka enter to Moggallana's stomach.
Not Yakka, Mara.
Oh, so
he can enter anybody's body. Yeah, he's the most
so
powerful
Yakka
person.
Cannot, but Mara
Yakka
can.
Cannot, Mara can. But Mara doesn't disturb everybody. Mara only disturbs certain individuals. He's a very choosy person. Very choosy.
Thank you, Bhante.
He chooses people. Especially the ones who are trying to have a very speedy journey to Nibbana. He's choosing those people. Yeah. So Yakkas have a physical body. That's why when some beings go inside the body, even Mara, other beings can feel that it's becoming heavy. If Yakkas are not heavy, Yakka cannot strike a blow upon the head of Arahant Sariputta. It's a very heavy, one of the strongest blow onto somebody. Yeah.
Bhante, was the conversation conducted in human speech? The conversation between Buddha and the Yakka, was it in human speech?
Human speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means a Yakka can understand
Yes.
human,
Yeah.
irrespective of dialects and languages.
Actually, Yakka understands Pali. That's why you should learn Pali. Right? There are people asking, can we chant in English? Can we chant in Sinhala? Hey, it's okay, as long as you understand. But these non-human beings are very sensitive to Pali. Very interesting, because they know these suttas were given by the Buddha. Now, you say, for instance, Ratana Sutta, Mahamangala Sutta, Metta Sutta. Even you take this Vihara, which has been surviving for more than 100 years. How many people may have come here and chanted these suttas here? For this over 100 years. And monks over here from 1875, before 75 years of late chief, the temple was existing. 75 years before him, now 75 years after him, this time. How many people have come here, have been chanting since that time? So what do you think, what is more understandable to these non-human beings? Is it Sinhala, or maybe English, Sanskrit, or your language, or Pali? Pali, because that has been thoroughly understood practiced by many beings since the time of, that's why it's good to learn some Pali. You don't have to learn Pali grammar a lot. I don't encourage Pali grammar a lot, because you only want to learn Pali with regard to learning Dhamma, not Pali as a language. Right? It's too much for you. It's good to learn if you are a scholar. Otherwise, too much for you because of your time. Because you have to learn and practice. How are you going to make time for that with your life? So it's better to learn certain Pali areas of the Dhamma part. Otherwise, you can always go to a Pali class where they teach Vanaro Rukkamha Patati. The monkey fell out of the tree. Why we have to learn about why monkeys falling down from the trees? That's not in here Dhamma, When you learn Pali as a language, you learn, So it's a human, the conversation went in Pali, because actually the proper name of Pali is not Pali, Magadhi. The local language of the state of Magadha, where the Buddha stayed. Then what happened after some time, the word in the Magadha dictionary called Pali came into being. They use Pali is Magadhi, but Magadhi is the language, the proper term, scholarly term. But when you, chant, recite in Pali, so they understand, non-human beings understand, but you may not understand. Right? Because you don't know the meaning, or you are only depending on the Sangha members. I just the chanting, so I'm good. That is not beneficial for you in your practice. You may get the support, but even non-human beings know this person is chanting. I know they don't know what they are chanting, right? Right. That's not nice too, right? So it's better to do it in Pali by learning the meaning of what you are chanting. Because you can't, meddle with non-human beings. They are more powerful than all of us. They know what you are doing. Yeah. So it's better to know the meaning too. Yes. Yes.
Bhante, it seems that in the suttas, I think we hear more on the Nagas and the Yakkas. Although the Chatumajikas, they are what you call king of four heavenly devas, nothing is mentioned on the Garudas and also on the Gandhabas. Can we actually conclude that these two groups...
It does. Gandhabba is mentioned here, Atanati Sutta.
But are they more on a higher being compared to Nagas and Yakkas when they are more suttas that comes from Yakkas and what you call Nagas as compared to the other two groups?
Actually, Gandhabas are a little bit, good beings. They are not Yakkas actually. They are musicians. Mostly, if you were a musician, players, you may become a deva in the Gandhabba world, as a Gandhabba in the Chatu Maharajika. But Garudas are not part of Chatu Maharajika. They are different type of beings. Garudas, so they are different. They are not more powerful than Yakkas. So let me tell you, Yakkas are more powerful in this Chatu Maharajikas. They can go anywhere in the world. Yeah. So we will wrap this up, our discussion with this question.
Bhante is the last question. So Bhante, of course Buddha is the enlightened one. Then we have 28 Buddhas, everything. May I ask, how about Mara? Do you have 28 Maras? How does Mara fit into the whole Dharma? Who is he? Why is he so powerful? And how does he relate to Buddha?
Okay.
Thank you. Or is it just a manifestation of the...
It's a scholarly discussion.
Oh.
Scholars say, I will answer that. Okay, when you look at the suttas, Mara has been a person. In the Buddhist idea of Mara, there are 5 Maras. Very interesting. There are 5 Maras. 4 Maras are not the physical Mara, they are us. There are 5 Maras. The first Mara, second Mara, third, fourth, fifth. The first one is Kanda Mara. Second one is Kilesa Mara. Third one is Abhisankhara Mara. Fourth one is Machu Mara. Fifth one is Vasavatti Mara. Or I would say Vasavatti or Devaputta Mara. Kanda Mara means anybody, any sentient being who has a body of 5 aggregates has to be understood as a Mara. That means we all are Maras. Very interesting. Because we carry the 5 aggregates body. We have a Rupa Kanda, Vedana Kanda, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyana, form, feelings, memories, karma, and then consciousness. So because we carry Khandas, we are becoming Maras in that interpretation. Second Mara is also us. When we have 5 aggregates body, then we are struggling with our own defilements. Because we are having defilements on and off, depending on our conditions, we are also becoming Mara, even at in the second layer. We are becoming Mara for the second time. Right? Then third one is Abhisankhara Mara. Now when you have 5 aggregates, When you have kilesas, then what will happen? We are creating karma, good karma, bad karma. Because of that, we are becoming Mara for the third time. Then Machu Mara means because we are going to pass away one day. That means we are the domain of the Mara. We are in the domain of the Mara. Our death is a representation of we have lived in the Mara's domain. We are representing the Mara's domain. That's why we are becoming Mara for the fourth time. Only the last one is the proper Mara, Vasavatti Mara, the one who is in the Paranimita Vasavatti and Nimmanarati. Who is he? This is a position. Okay? This is a position. That means these Maras, they get changed. But what we understand is the present Mara is the same Mara who struggled with the Buddha. It's not long time ago that, a couple thousand years. He's still there. The Vasavatti Mara. So what we understand is this particular Mara is a person who time to time reviews the people who are trying to enlighten, who are trying to find, he's not attacking everybody, but he's choosing certain people who have some enormous spiritual strength in the past. So he knows that this person can definitely has the potential of becoming enlightened. So he is a person. I think you are asking about his way. And Vasavatti Mara is the most powerful person in this whole universe. Now they are talking many universes in the science, so it must be the Mara, because Mara's domain means that as long as we all are enjoying sensual pleasures, we are under him. If there's anybody who would like to restrain from sensual pleasures even for a short time, then you are challenging Mara. He's not happy about it. He's sending lots of flowers to you. Hey, go back to your default nature. So there is a story, Godika, monk Godika. Monk Godika, Godhik, he was practicing meditation. He was finally not happy. He was not able to attain any enlightenment. So he thought, I am going to cut my neck off with his, the one you are putting in the ropes, a certain blade. Not a good idea, because he is now very unhappy about spiritual failure. But during the time it is happening, he felt the Vedana, pain. Mara saw this. Mara was very happy. This person was going to meditate, now going to cut his own neck and going to die. Definitely he's coming back to me. He was very happy. He was watching him, and then he passed away. The monk passed away at that time. So that evening, he went to the Jethavanarama as a child, maybe 10 years or 12 years old child, and asked the Buddha, Bhante, where is monk Godhika now? He asked from the Buddha. The Buddha said, people like you cannot understand where he went. He was very unhappy, he left. I know you are not a child, you are the Mara. But on the other hand, don't take this example to do it, because it's a very different example. Don't try to cut your neck. It's a very isolated example. What we can say is that if you want to meditate, anything can be an object. One of the good objects for meditation is raining, which you don't like sometimes. Oh, it's raining, huh? You get wet. Rain. How many monks, nuns looked at the rain and become enlightened? Patachara. Patachara was watching how the water cascades. The water comes from a high place to a lower place. How many times we watch waterfalls? For us, it's like just a fun, how the water goes down, that's it, take pictures. But Patachara looks at it, that water is not anymore there. It's not anywhere here also. It has merged onto the river. It's not even in the river now. It might be in the ocean. It might not be also in the ocean. It might be somewhere else. And she saw the anicca of that water. She became enlightened. And some other monks, they were enjoying how water goes down. Devocha vassati, devocha galagalayati. Now when you see water, we only look at how the water is going. But Arahants in the Theragatha, they say, rain rains and the water that is coming from the rain flows with the sound of gala gala. Gala gala sound. That means Arahants can enjoy nature better than us. So I call that enjoyment as passion-free delight. Delight without raga. Our sensual desire is sensual desire with greed onto that. So that's why we can't enjoy anything in our life. Even you can't enjoy the loved ones that you are having. Right? Because we are always bringing the greed onto these people. But for Arahants, they enjoy, even when the birds are going up, they see it as a very beautiful thing. Luckily, they didn't have smartphones to take that, but they were enjoying how the cranes were going up in the sky. And then, yeah. All right, I think time has already passed. I think we almost covered this Alavaka Sutta, and our plan is to conduct the next sutta, not next Monday. We are taking a break. I think it is Malaysia Day as well. And we are taking a break for next Monday. We are not doing discussion for next Monday. September 16, we are cancelling the discussion. And we are seeing all of us the other Monday. It's going to be, when is that day? September 23rd. We will be starting a brand new sutta, Dajagga Sutta. Dajagga Sutta is also about Deva and Asura. Very interesting about these non-human beings. But we are going through very interesting aspect of the life, blessings. How do the blessings? Okay, the final thing is that deal with the yakkas in the proper way, but don't become a yakka. Okay, wishing you a good night. Safe driving back home. We'll see you on September 23rd, Monday.